let me say this. Treant Monk today came up with a video that I was incredibly impressed with his first opinion on. And I actually very much agree with this. By the way, if you're watching me and you haven't subbed to Treant Monk, go check out his channel, okay? His first house rule. Holy crap. I did not expect to hear this.
It's not uncommon for me at all to run games where every single player has the shield spell. And this is for good reason. Because they feel they need it. Of course they need it. Because with a shield spell in the game, that's what you have to bounce for. And if you bounce for that, then the characters kind of have to have it. I've seen and participated in multiple discussions on how to fix the shield spell, because there seems to be at least a majority of players and DMs of the opinion the shield spell is probably bad for the game as it is now. Maybe it should provide a lower bonus. Maybe it should be a higher level. Maybe it should only block a single attack. But you know what? There is a simpler solution. And I'm here to tell you, I have playtested this, and it's fine. No shield spell. Done.
Whoa.
Shield is gone. You can't take it. The monsters won't have it. It doesn't exist. Honestly and truly, I found the game is just better without this spell entirely.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. This is just me as a designer. Like, the wizard needs to be a glass cannon. You need to, your job, your design is intrinsically around the idea that I am in the back line, I am going to be casting spells, yada yada yada. If you want to be a Gish, then that class option should probably be structured to support, whatever. We can make a class option that can do that, right? If you're saying that, like, I want to play a wizard, and I want to play them in the front line, and I want to do XYZ thing, it's like, can you do that? Like, but, why? I mean, why? Like, RPG Chronicler, you don't like banning stuff, I'll disagree to an extent, unless it's due to lore reasons. I'm not saying that I like banning anything, but what I am saying is that I can recognize, like, this spell becomes too good to where it's just, there's no reason every player should not be picking this thing up. This is like one of the best reactions that you can get in the entire game. And I'm not even talking about comparative analysis or anything here. What this does for stats is too good. And I will 100% agree with Treant Monk that shield should probably just be removed from the game. It's going to inspire a lot more spell choice for all the different wizards, other than just looking at your first level and saying, well, okay, so I'm going to get shield and then 3 other spells, right? It needs to go away. We can nerf shield all day long, but like, it is a mechanic that we can point to in the same way that, by the way, and I swear to God, like, I'm only saying this because it supports my point here. The way that I'm looking at Silvery Barbs is like, this spell is, we're going to have the shield problem. It's going to be too good not to pick up. No, it's not a Silvery Slope. This is the one spell that we're making the suggestion for this. Absorb Elements does get a chance to shine. And, like, does that become the new, like, we have to default pick that up? I don't think so. Shield's effect is just so impactful. It is good at doing this one thing really, really well. It is good at the defensive oh shit button for that one round. And it is super damn good at doing that. But the problem is, it's almost too good at doing that for every other character. Shield's problem is that it's just so good on everybody. Like, this is a flat increase to your AC. If we went so far as to say that, like, spells should not be cast as reactions unless they are 3rd level and above, maybe. I don't know that that's exactly what we should do. But, like, I do think the fact of you can cast this spell and you don't have to prep the thing. Prep it as in, I don't have to cast it as a preventative measure rather than casting it as a reactive measure, adds a different echelon of power to it, Yeah, and okay, and again, like, you can totally do that, but what I think Treant Monk is saying here is, like, damn, like, this is ballsy, but I think that he's got a point, and that if we recognize that something is just so good that, like, every character should probably pick it up, and they have a means of picking it up, and so they do pick it up, and this is literally a part of every single character build, this is something that winds up defining the meta in a very, very unhealthy way. What of first level then? They are supposed to be squishy. You're saying spellcasters are notorious for being squishy at first level. You're concerned that they'll be less willing to take risks. They are supposed to be squishy. Spellcasters are trading off survivability for power. That is the intrinsic trade-off there, okay? If they're playing a wizard, that is part of what is known about being a spellcaster, is you are a carry, okay? You are supposed to have other characters that are supporting you so that you can deal out damage. You are supposed to be DPS, not tank. That's where Barbarian, Paladin, Fighter, to some extent Ranger, that's where those are all supposed to shine. As many people want to say that, like, well, I want to play my character this way and I want to be able to make this character yada yada yada. I'm like, oh my god, okay, but like, you have to realize that these classes all have a certain play style they're supposed to hit, right? Like, that's part of what makes the tactics of this game fun. If you decide that your fun is in breaking those tactics, you are welcome to try. You are certainly welcome to try. If you want to do the thing where, like, I want to break the meta and I want to do whatever with my wizard, I want to make a tank wizard, can you do that? Sure. Like, Abjuration Wizard, do the thing. I don't know, whatever, right? Like, if that's the way that you have fun, go for it. But if you are saying that, like, spellcasters need to be more tanky, then you're starting to infringe on the power of what, like, Barbarian can do. You know, part of Barbarian's power is the fact that they get a D12 hit die. They get unarmored defense. They get, I'm resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage whenever I rage. So if you impede on the fact of other classes are supposed to be the tanks, you're starting to remove their identity. Are you saying that all players need to have all these different angles tied up? Like, everything needs to have an element of them being secure in order for them to be... I'm not sure. Like, is the thing that's going to be satisfying for you the fact that all characters always have an answer to all problems? Because it's okay to have a problem. It's okay for a character to have a weakness in the game. Paladin does not have an easy time dealing with ranged characters, or ranged enemies, you know. That is part of the thing that allows Paladin to tank, to smite like crazy, is the fact of they don't have real easy access to ranged weapon attacks, ranged, spell attacks. The GM might be smart and target spellcasters. Mage armor doesn't protect spellcasters from saving throw spells. Yeah, then, I mean, but why should the characters have an answer for absolutely every single issue? Like, you need to be able to challenge players. You need to be able to challenge players. Let me say that in case anyone from Wizards of the Coast is listening. You need to be able to challenge players, okay? If at first level you are able to handle every situation that gets thrown at you, you will not grow. You do not grow. You don't have any character growth. Part of the fun that we experience in this storytelling game is that we see story-based leveling. We see story expression. We see this growth happen with a character from 1st to 20th level. If there's no element of a problem in the character's playstyle, if they have literally everything shored up, then that character has a problem in its inherent design. This is a big issue that I have with Artificer. Artificer does not have a weak zone. Artificer is totally shored up all over the battlefield. They can get super tanky, and they're never going to run out of ammo. If you do track ammo, whatever, they have their cantrips so that they can deal with ranged enemies really easily. And you can even go into some subclasses that make you a really great frontliner, right? So Artificer has no weak spot on the battlefield at all. Wizard, if you get into the front line, you're dead. Sorcerer, you get into the front line, you're dead. Warlock, you want to stay in the midline because that's just where you're more effective. Warlock also just has an issue with the way that Eldritch Blast is designed. It's a very experimental and interesting class, but it can't do all of the blaster things that Wizard wants to do. But if you look at Cleric is really, really damn good, okay? But Cleric's spell list is pretty reduced down to, until you get into a little bit later levels, pretty reduced down to straight up support and radiant damage. These are the two things it does really, really well, okay? And radiant damage is a good type of damage to be dealing out. Sure, absolutely. But cleric is not. Cleric's power doesn't really hit what a wizard can dish out. Cleric has the ability to potentially hit something like 75%, maybe 60% of what wizard can do with like light domain, but it's at most what you're going to get is the red mage. You're going to get the red mage that's very good at theurgy stuff. You're just not a fan of removing stuff for the sake of balance. Okay, good balance will make your game last much longer. Balance directly influences replayability, okay? Once you start to figure out that there's an issue with a game that you could call into question as like a balance issue, what you will wind up seeing is people will do nothing but play that one thing that develops the like, what is the go-to default here? This is what's developing an unhealthy meta, right? People will play that one thing that is default because it's the way that they usually get wins or whatever.